if you feel like the gaming industry is currently a chaotic, low-budget reality TV show, where the producers are actively just trying to sabotage the set, well, you aren't alone. Welcome to the Great Reset. And trust me, you didn't sign up for this, but guess what? You're stuck in the front row with all of us. You are one of us. I mean, we are currently witnessing a corporate meltdown that makes high-stakes television look frankly just lame. And look at the carnage at Microsoft. On July 6th, they officially pulled the trigger on a massive restructuring, announcing almost 5,000 jobs lost globally, with 1,600 of those roles vanishing pretty much immediately from the Xbox division. And that's just the opening act. They've spent billions acquiring these creators, and now they are just tossing them overboard. Like extra weight on a sinking ship. But it's not just the workforce that is getting gutted, okay? The entire leadership culture has shifted into something that is honestly not recognizable. I mean, Phil Spencer, the guy who spent 38 years at Microsoft and actually acted like a gamer, retired this past February. In his place, well, we've got Asha Sharma, an AI executive with zero gaming background. She is already on record calling the Xbox business unhealthy and is aggressively pushing to slash management layers and vendor spending. And then, just to keep the drama at a fever pitch, you've got Sony. Yeah, we talked about them last week, didn't we? A lot. And when I mean a lot, I mean a lot. And guess what? We still have a lot more to talk about them. I mean, the company that spent decades telling us they were the champions of physical media, deciding to pull the plug entirely on July 1st, when they announced that by January 2028, all new PlayStation games will be digital only. The industry is in a self-called reset phase that feels a lot more like a collapse. I mean, we are seeing a shift away from human-driven craft and toward cold algorithmic monetization, where AI is being fast-tracked into corporate roles while the actual talent is being shown the door. It's just to make it easier for companies to trap us into a subscription model, where you are just renting server permission to play a game you don't own. It's exhausting. It's frustrating. Now come here, grab your popcorn, because the corporate drama unfolding at Sony is giving us pure grade A telenovela levels of backstabbing, gaslighting, and who saw that coming? Plot twist style. Now, if you think the industry is just business, you definitely aren't paying attention to the script. Now, I know what you're thinking. Kira, we already spent all of last week screaming about the end of physical media. And you're absolutely right. We definitely, most certainly, absolutely did that. We tore into the reality of what this old digital future looks like. It is bleak, it is disgusting, I don't want to be a part of it, but hey, since then, the plot has thickened. In the most hilarious way possible. Dun dun dun! After the absolute firestorm of backlash following the July 1st announcement that they are just kablowing all physical discs by 2028, well, let's say it, Sony tried to walk it back, a little bit. It was very bold. It was a very bold statement. It was like we are not gonna walk it back, but we kind of are, a little bit. This is what happened, okay? They basically tried some frantic damage control, and they were out there telling everyone, don't worry. This is not gonna affect your music and your movies. Honestly, that's like somebody burning your house down, Like, you saw them with the matches and everything, they just burned it to a crisp. But they tell you, hey, at least the garages is still standing. Ain't that the good news? Like, they're desperately trying to isolate the gaming division from the absolute dumpster fire that they created back when they started erasing their video library division. So let's look at the big reveal of this season. On July 1st, 2026, Sony announced they are officially just claiming physical game discs, okay? They've gone on record with a straight face somehow, claiming this is just a natural transition based on consumer preference. Okay, it is a natural transition the same way I prefer to pay my utility bills, you know. I do it because I want to, sure. Because I literally have no other choice. If I want the lights to stay on and keep on making videos, well, then I kind of have to pay my bills, right? Well, that's basically what they're saying. They are saying, hey guys, we heard you. We know that you are all in on this digital future, and we know that you want this. They're claiming that it is for our convenience. But let's be real, this is just the ultimate corporate power grab designed to force every single one of us into an all-digital ecosystem where Sony is gonna hold the keys, the tap, and the checkout counter. But wait, the plot thickens. We need to talk about the scandalous stock sale. Oh yeah, because this is where the drama got downright disrespectful. Come on. I mean, just 2 days after they announced the industry-shaking, world-burning news on July 1st, the man at the top of Sony, CEO Hiroki Totoki, cashed out. Yeah, on July 3, he dumped 225,000 shares of company stock. We are talking about 56% of his personal stake, netting him around 4.7 million. I mean, think about that timeline. He drops the absolute bombshell on the PlayStation blog, watches the entire gaming community go into a total meltdown. Because let's face it, we are in the midst of a meltdown and of a huge tantrum. Literally hundreds of thousands of signatures on petitions in days. And while the internet is on fire, he hits the sell button on over half his personal stake. Now, Sony's PR team is out here doing overtime, spinning it as a personal diversification, like this is because of taxes, but you do not need to be a Wall Street insider to read the room. You don't jump in a lifeboat 2 days after announcing you are redesigning the ship, unless you know something about the hull. You know what I mean? And while they are just offloading their bags, they are busy, very busy gaslighting us with the reality of what all digital actually looks like. Now, Sony is currently very busy obliterating 551 Studio Canal movies and TV shows from users' accounts across the UK and Europe. With how much money? Yeah, zero compensation. You heard that right. They're effectively telling their customers that the purchase button is actually just a renting button, temporary permission slip that they can revoke whenever a licensing deal expires. Well, didn't we talk about all of this last week? Just go and listen to the other podcast. It's really fun though. Well, for me to make them. But it isn't just us peasants getting angry, okay? The industry is starting to turn on them too, and this is when it gets just precious to see. The legendary, the master of horror, Hideo Kojima, a man who knows a thing or two about storytelling, a man that we all admire, didn't hold back at a recent film festival in Rome. He called this move scary and very sad. There's nothing else to it. It's basically what it is. He put it perfectly. Some company will own the server and say, yeah, you can turn on the tap for a certain amount of money each month, okay? And when we pause as a community and listen, when the creators who actually make the art are telling us that we are losing ownership, you know that we reached the peak of corporate dystopia. At this point, I know it sounds lame, but it is what it is. And let's talk about the irony, the absolute stinging poetic irony of the Blu-ray situation. Sony literally forced the Blu-ray standard on the entire world to get rid of HD DVDs. And now, they are using that same dominance to eliminate the competition again, the second-hand market. They aren't streamlining, they are starving the ecosystem to inflate their own stock, their own prices. And they're doing it while looking us in the eye and telling us it's for our own good. That's kind of like the ultimate betrayal. They forced the technology on us. They made us buy into their hardware. They made us collect their games. And now they are locking the doors from the outside and charging us rent to stay in the room. This isn't a transition. This is a mafia-style shakedown. And if you're still waiting for them to apologize, you are watching the wrong show. This season of the Sony drama is only just getting started. And the fans? Well, I think that we are just officially done playing along. Now, we need to talk about the golden era. I mean, look at the history of this industry. Figures like Satoru Iwata and Reggie, they weren't just executives in suits staring blankly at quarterly projections. No. They were not also just marketing people. No, they were the heartbeat of the brand. Take Iwata-san. The man was a legendary programmer who built his way up from the code. He understood that the only way to make great games was to get the developers and designers involved in the big management decision, not push them out for the sake of efficiency. He very famously took a 50% pay cut during the Wii U struggles just to protect his staff's jobs. I mean, he understood and believed that you cannot build great art if your team is living in fear of the next layoff. And that one, I think that most of us, well, the ones that have the pleasure or burden of having at least worked once in our life, we know what is that. To be in fear of being part of the next layoff. He was a gamer at heart, and he proved it every single time he sat down for an Iwata Asks interview, where he will just geek out with developers about the struggles and the passion behind the pixels. Then you had Reggie. He wasn't just a president of Nintendo of America. He was a full personality. He still is a full personality. He understood that his job wasn't just to move units. It was to be a face that fans could relate to. Now compare that to the leadership point that we have, like we saw it recently in Nintendo, when Doug Bowser took the chair. The energy shifted. I mean, it's not just me that noticed it, come on. And not in a good way. I mean, Bowser, despite his last name, wasn't a villain. And he didn't ruin the company. But he just didn't shine. He felt like a corporate placeholder, you know, somebody who could hold the title. But yeah, he was never captured that gamer first charisma that Reggie made to look so easy. It felt like Nintendo of America started pulling back, dropping the skits, the personality, and yeah, turning just like into another branch of a calculating, distant corporate machine. It's not about hating him, it's about realizing that the days of the charismatic, relatable leader were being phased out in favor of the suit. Now we are seeing the same direction, only much more aggressively across the industry, especially at places like Xbox. We are watching the old guard, the ones who treated gaming like a culture, get unceremoniously replaced by a new breed of AI efficiency executives. Enter Asha Sharma. And let's be clear, this is a total culture shock. She's a tech heavyweight from the world of AI and user acquisition. But where are her gaming skills? Yeah, you cannot just learn the lingo and try to use it. We know this. We know when we can feel when you're like, one of us, one of us, and when you're pretending to be one of us. And that one personally pisses me off. Anyways, when you replace a veteran who grew up in the industry with someone whose primary expertise is data-driven growth, I mean, the message is loud and clear. They aren't trying to make better games anymore. They're trying to optimize a spreadsheet for the stock market. This is like a leadership vacuum that we're living in. These new executives love to talk about simplifying operations by cutting layers of management. But they're completely ignoring the human cost. They look at these massive gaming ecosystems, communities built on passion and loyalty, and they see friction that needs to be smoothed out by an algorithm. It's the ultimate corporate gaslighting. They call it a reset, but it's really a dismantling of the things that made us love these platforms in the first place. I mean, the pivot is total. They're moving away from the renegade spirit that built these companies and towards a model of a scaled efficiency. They want to scale, and they're betting that AI can do it cheaper than a human developer ever could. But here's the secret that they are not gonna tell you in the boardroom. You're never gonna be able to automate passion. You cannot calculate the spark of a classic game using a machine learning model. It's a massive, reckless gamble. When you lose the interest and the loyalty of the people who build the platform, you lose the culture that kept fans buying in for decades. We are in an era where the people calling the shots have never experienced the frustration of a game that doesn't work. They have never felt the payoff of finally beating that freaking boss at 3 a.m. because you have spent the last 12 hours of your booty sitting and sweating in that chair just to defeat that boss, you know? That disconnect is exactly why this great reset that they talk so much feels so cold, so clinical, and so fundamentally freaking wrong. It's like they swapped the engine for a generic AI-driven marketing machine. They are looking for growth, but they are pruning the branches that actually bear the fruit. And the saddest part? Man, they genuinely believe that if they just optimize enough, we will notice that the soul of the platform has gone dark. But we are watching. We are definitely noticing. I mean, this isn't a transition into a brighter future. It's definitely a slow fade into a digital gray. Okay, let's pause for a second. Deep breath. I know this is a lot of corporate doom and gloom, and if your head is spinning from all the restructuring and digital-only talk, you're definitely not alone. The brain rot is definitely real. But if you're still with me, you're clearly as upset with this train wreck as I am. Or you're a total glutton for punishment. Either way, welcome to the club. Grab another drink, get comfortable, because now that we've established that the bosses have lost the plot, yeah, we need to talk about what's actually happening to the people on the front lines. Let's get into the meat of it. If you want to see exactly how these new data-first strategies operate when they look at a leadership vacuum and decide to just simplify the business, well, you don't have to look any further than the literal destruction of the Xbox workforce. It's not just a change in tone. It's a complete pivot to a meat grinder mentality. We have been screaming about the signs of this great reset since last week. The rumors were floating and they sounded plausible, but the reality is somehow even worse. When the official announcement hit on July 6th, it wasn't just a corporate memo. It was delivering a series of incredibly patronizing, disrespectful statements that kind of like treated the entire history of Xbox like a mistake. They basically stood there, looked at the ecosystem built by people like Phil Spencer. I mean, he was a leader who had the experience to back their decisions, and essentially branded the strategies that protected people as failed experiments or unhealthy inefficiencies. Like, Asha Sharma specifically admitted that the business is not healthy and that while the bets on Game Pass and studio acquisitions created meaningful value, they did not grow at the pace we expected. To look at a strategy that was fundamentally about growing a community and call it a failed bet, that's a slap in the face to everyone who built this house that you're living in right now, honey. And the fix? Well, a massive freaking slaughter. We are talking 3,200 gaming positions being axed throughout fiscal year 2027, with 1,600 roles vanishing immediately, divesting iconic teams like Ninja Theory, Compulsion Games, Double Fine, and Undead Labs. They spent billions acquiring these creators to bolster Game Pass. And now, like, they are tossing them overboard like extra weight on a sinking ship. And now let's unpack a little bit this not healthy claim, because it's a masterclass in corporate gaslighting. I mean, Sharma admitted they were losing 64 cents on every dollar invested in their studios. But look at the math. You don't build a creative empire by treating your developers like a line item, not like just a thing on a spreadsheet that needs to be erased. You build this portfolio, you mismanaged the integration, and now you're punishing the people who actually built the games for your own failures in vision. And how are they fixing it? By slashing management layers from 14 layers down to 5. I'm not sure if it sounds like a buzzword heavy fix for a systemic problem or a freaking burrito. But when you look at the fourth cautionary tale, we talked about this, we know exactly how this ends. You got the expert, the product quality tanks, and then you're left scrambling to rehire the very talent that you just discarded. It's a classic cynical efficiency play that ignores always the human cost. Okay, so we already talked about it, but the way that they are saying that this is necessary just for the sake of money, the prices of Game Pass rose out of nowhere to a price where it was just stupid. Because yeah, you have 1,000 games there if you want to, but I'm not gonna play 1,000 games in a month. If you, instead of doing something like Game Pass, you tell me that I can't access up to 10 games from the ones that you have in your catalog, and that's gonna be my basic service for, I don't know, $20 a month, I would pay them, because I can change the games or I can keep them for whatever time that I want to, and I will keep paying you every month. Or maybe not make them 10 games, make them 7, okay? But again, it's not something that you just had to rely on. The price of it, it's just lame. Just lame. I mean, the industry is in a death spiral of its own making. Instead of asking why players aren't engaging, they are just firing the people who could actually help them solve it. If you want to know what's wrong with your model, talk to the people that play it. Talk to the people that are struggling to pay your service. Talk to the people that are struggling to buy your freaking consoles. Talk to us. Instead of just being patronizing us and saying that you know what we want. Because that ain't cool. Anyway. And let's be real about this stupid reset. When a new CEO comes in, ignores the gamers, and immediately starts treating the division like a failing startup that needs to be stripped for parts, you aren't positioning the company for a bigger future. You are liquidating the present. They keep saying the next decade will be larger, more global, and we're gonna be more creative. But it's hard to be creative when you just fire 20% of your staff. It's a rebuild from a much smaller, way much colder foundation. The people who actually built the Xbox identity, the ones who championed back compatibility, the ones who fostered the indie scene, the ones who made sure you had a community to jump into at 3 a.m., are being pushed out of the door for greater focus and discipline. It's not focus, it's an erasure. Have the balls to let us know. They are taking a brand that was once a sanctuary for gamers and turning it into a sterile AI-driven marketing machine. So when they tell you this is a reset to help them return to growth, remember who is paying the price for that growth. It's the developers, the storytellers, and ultimately it's us, the players, who are going to be left with fewer games, fewer original ideas, and a brand that has lost its soul. I mean, if this is a new and improved Xbox, I think most of us would take the messy, unhealthy version any day of the week. The version that like to give you different freaking colors in your controllers and in your Xbox and everything. That's the Xbox that I kind of miss, you know? But that is feeling more and more and more like a memory. And I don't think that that's random. I think that it's a cold, calculated move. But it leaves one big question. What do we do when the brand we love decides it doesn't love us back? And well, just as in life, that's where the things get interesting. You know what they're gonna be looking for? The people they just kicked to the curb. All the people that they disrespected. All the people that they overlooked. Because they were too dumb to be looking. They're gonna be looking back for them. And us, the fans. Well, I do hope that we are gonna be watching. We're gonna be on the lookout. We're gonna have to have a serious talk, guys, because it's not possible. It's not possible that they just screw us over and over and over and over again, and we just have to take it. It cannot be that. We know for a fact that not all companies are the same. That's all I want to say. Like, just for once, people, listen to us. We're not kids. Anyways, I mean, that's just my take, and I know I'm not exactly known for being subtle. So what do you guys think? Am I losing my marbles, or are we all watching the same slow motion train wreck on real time and trying to, I don't know, we're just rocking in the corner saying, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, they're not gonna take them away, they're not gonna take them away, but they are. They really are. Now, I'm genuinely curious, and I'm gonna ask, do you guys want us to keep going this deep into the corporate madness? I know, it might be a little bit too much. Do you guys want us to be more to the point when we talk about news? We are still tinkering with the rhythm here at the channel, especially for the podcast, and we want to make sure this is a space you actually want to hang out with. So drop a comment below. The team and I read every single one of them. I try to answer them whenever that we have them. And if you want to, just head over to the community tab, let your voice be heard. Your opinion actually matters here because we are building this little chaotic little world together, okay? Thanks for hanging out in the wreckage with us this week. If you're feeling the same way, if you're ready to hold on to the games you love, even when the industry is really desperately trying to switch it off, hit that subscribe button and stay in the loop. We aren't going anywhere, and we're definitely not done talking about this. We'll see you in the next one. Stay chaotic, people. I am Kira, and this was a Sprite Quest After Dark. Sweet dreams.